What's up, everybody? So remember, we were talking just a couple days ago about the agitation of the concept of buying and selling. Remember, we were talking about mass deportation, and that mass deportation, especially when it comes to food, the farmers, maybe 40 to 75% of the farmers are undocumented workers, undocumented immigrants, and that if they get deported, that there could be a spike in the prices of food or a food shortage. And again, there might be a regulation when it comes to buying and selling of food. Remember, we were talking about that. Remember, we were talking about Revelation 13, that the second beast will cause those who are small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, that he will cause them to receive a mark, which is the mark of the beast, and that those who don't have this mark cannot buy or sell. We'll take a look at this.
It's a lot of money coming to the United States. As you know, we have about a $200 billion deficit with Canada, getting close to $200 billion. They've treated us very unfairly. And I say, why should we be subsidizing Canada? It's wonderful. I have so many friends in Canada. It's a great place.
Is there a concession
But
you're looking for, sir?
no, we're not looking for a concession. And we'll just see what happens. But, eventually, we're going to put tariffs on chips. We're going to put tariffs on oil and gas. That'll happen fairly soon. I think around the 18th of February. And we're going to put a lot of tariffs on steel. We already have tariffs on steel, and we've saved our steel industry, but that was relatively small compared to what it'll be. But we're going to be putting tariffs on steel and aluminum and ultimately copper. Copper will take a little bit longer, and that'll happen pretty quickly. It'll mean it'll be a great boost for our steel industry. It'll make our steel industry very strong. Am I going to impose tariffs on the European Union? Do you want the truthful answer, or should I give you a political answer? Absolutely. Absolutely. The European Union has treated us so terribly.
You promised Americans to try to reduce costs, and so many of the products
Yeah.
would be tariffed.
And we are treated so badly. They don't take our cars. They don't take our farm products, essentially. They don't take almost anything. And we have a tremendous deficit with the European Union, so we'll be doing something very substantial with the European Union. We're going to bring the level up to where it should be, and yet I charged hundreds of billions of dollars of tariffs to countries. And tariffs don't cause inflation, they cause success. Cause big success. So we're going to have great success. There could be some temporary short-term disruption, and people will understand that. I had that when I negotiated some of the good deals for the farmers. But the tariffs are going to make us very rich and very strong, and we're going to treat other countries very fairly. But if you think about it, other countries charge us tariffs. We don't charge them tariffs. And it's about time that changes.
Sir, are you concerned about the market reaction around tariffs?
No, no. Tariffs. The word tariff is a very misunderstood word. You've heard me say. I say it kiddingly, but it's one of the most beautiful words in the dictionary.
So this could mean that there might be a retaliation from both the European Union and, I think he said also, China and Canada. Oh, yeah.
Tonight, I am announcing Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods. This will include immediate tariffs on $30 billion worth of goods as of Tuesday, followed by further tariffs on $125 billion worth of American products in 21 days' time to allow Canadian companies and supply chains to seek to find alternatives. Our response will also be far-reaching and include everyday items such as American beer, wine, and bourbon, fruits and fruit juices, including orange juice, along with vegetables, perfume, clothing, and shoes. It'll include major consumer products like household appliances, furniture, and sports equipment, and materials like lumber and plastics, along with much, much more. And as part of our response, we are considering, with the provinces and territories, several non-tariff measures, including some relating to critical minerals, energy, procurement, and other partnerships. We will stand strong for Canada. We will stand strong to ensure our countries continue to be the best neighbors in the world. I want to speak directly to Americans, our closest friends and neighbors. This is a choice that, yes, will harm Canadians, but beyond that, it will have real consequences for you, the American people. As I have consistently said, tariffs against Canada will put your jobs at risk, potentially shutting down American auto assembly plants and other manufacturing facilities. They will raise costs for you, including food at the grocery stores and gas at the pump. They will impede your access to an affordable supply of vital goods crucial for U.S. security, such as nickel, potash, uranium, steel, and aluminum. They will violate the free trade agreement that the President and I, along with our Mexican partner, negotiated and signed a few years ago. Together, we've built the most successful economic, military, and security partnership the world has ever seen. A relationship that has been the envy of the world. Yes, we've had our differences in the past, but we've always found a way to get past them. As I've said before, if President Trump wants to usher in a new golden age for the United States, the better path is to partner with Canada, not to punish us.
Yeah, so in the future, in the near future, I believe he said February 18th. In the near future, we could potentially see prices of food going up or food shortages. And not just food, daily household supplies. Which brings us back to Revelation 13. There could be some kind of regulation, there could be some kind of restriction when it comes to buying and selling in the future. Actually, no, it's not that there could be, there will be, as Revelation 13 tells us. There will be a restriction when it comes to buying and selling, and with prices going up of food and oil and gas and all kinds of other things, household material, we could start seeing that soon. There could be restrictions soon, regulations soon. With prices going up, there could be shortages. And if there are shortages, there would be a demand. That's pretty understandable. And if there is a demand, then you could imply a restriction or regulation. That restriction or regulation could lead to, in the future, the mark of the beast. You can't buy or sell unless. Watch this.
President Donald Trump campaigned on reducing the prices of groceries, but his new order imposing stiff tariffs on imports from Mexico, Canada, and China appear to go against that promise to voters.
U.S. trade partners are already punching back. The higher costs likely to hit American businesses and consumers hard.
So he said it can hit American businesses, those who sell, and consumers, those who buy. Again, the concept of buying and selling being agitated here.
Eyewitness News reporter Tim Caputo joins us live now with the latest on this escalating trade war. Tim?
Jory, Michelle, the back and forth has already begun, and it won't be long before you start feeling the pinch at not just grocery stores like the one behind me, but potentially hardware stores and even car dealerships. Because between lumber from the north and limes from the south, there's a whole long list of items that soon could cost more because of these tariffs. Just as quickly as President Trump announced increased tariffs on imports from Mexico, Canada, and China,
They've treated us very unfairly.
tonight there's swift retaliation from both our North American neighbors.
Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods.
The emerging trade war comes after the president signed executive orders hitting Canada and Mexico with 25% tariffs and China with 10% tariffs, blaming them for illegal immigration and drug trafficking. The president, well aware the cost could fall on average Americans.
There could be some temporary short-term disruption, and people will understand that.
Experts say American families could pay upwards of $800 more this year after companies that are stuck paying the increased tariffs then pass along the costs. There are tens of billions of dollars worth of groceries that come from our neighbors to the north and south. Canada is our biggest importer of grains, livestock and meat, sugar and poultry. Mexico provides the U.S. more fruits and vegetables than any other country. Brandon Parsons, an economics professor at Pepperdine University, says with certain products like avocados, where 90% come from Mexico, Americans will just see higher prices.
In the case of avocado, where there isn't necessarily a whole lot of other countries, to my understanding, that are selling them, it's likely that cost is just going to be added to the consumer.
The same could happen for alcohol, clothes, electronics, and cars. The tariffs on oil and gas could also hike prices at the pump by as much as 70 cents a gallon. Tonight, Canada, matching Trump's tariffs in percentage and scale, will urging Canadians to avoid American staples.
Like the American tariffs, our response will also be far-reaching and include everyday items such as American beer, wine, and bourbon, fruits and fruit juices, including orange juice, along with vegetables, perfume, clothing, and shoes.
President Trump not yet responding to the retaliation, but if the trade war escalates even more, it might just mean more money out of your pocket.
There is an escalation clause, and this escalation clause is saying that, hey, if you guys throw tariffs back on us, we're just going to increase tariffs. When we have this going back and forth, it just leads to a trade war where everybody's just worse off.
And tonight, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum announcing there will be retaliatory tariffs coming from Mexico, though she didn't provide any specifics. As for those U.S. tariffs for Mexico, Canada, and China, those are set to go into effect on February 4th.
So again, the agitation of the buying and selling there. Again, this wouldn't be a problem if we were to learn how to live off grid, have our own land, country living, where we can grow our own crops, grow our own food, make our own clothes, live off of the land. And like I said, I know that it is hard. We got our land, 5 acres of land. We haven't done anything to it because of time and because of expenses. But if we pray and we ask the Lord for help, and if we rely on Him, and if we show that we have faith in Him, God is going to give. God is going to show us a way. God is going to open up the doors for us. But again, it's inevitable. These things are going to happen. Prices on food and things are going to rise, causing for possibly a shortage on those things and a higher demand for those things. And if there is a higher demand for those things, there could be regulations, just like these guys said. It could impact the pockets of the consumer. Actually, it's not. It could impact the pockets of the consumer. It will impact the pockets of the consumers. And the way that might happen is, again, there might be regulations added or restrictions. You can't buy or sell unless, again, Remember those examples from the Bible that we talked about previous videos. Egypt, they had to sell themselves as servants to the president back then, the Pharaoh. They had to be slaves in order for them to buy their necessities. Remember with Jacob and Esau, Esau had to sell his birthright, his inheritance, in order to eat the food. Could be same thing for us. But if we lived self-sufficiently, if we lived the way that God would want us to live, living off the land, not in the cities, in the country. Remember, the Bible says in Revelation 18, God says to us, come out of her, my people. Come out of what? The cities. Same thing he said to Abraham and to Lot. Come out of the cities. Get out of there. Live off of the land, country living. We can learn country living skills, surviving off of the land. And guys, by the way, for those of you guys who have not yet seen that we do sell these books, go to sfp.center. The link is in the description box below. Once you guys get there, go to store. And in the store, there's the book collection. Once you guys get there, we have the Natural Remedies Encyclopedia there, which is also great because there's not going to be buying and selling during that time, during the Mark of the Beast. And if something were to happen to you where you have to go to the hospital, but you can't because you can't buy or sell, there's no insurance because you can't buy and sell the insurance as well, get this, the Natural Remedies Encyclopedia. Be your own doctor. Okay, be your own doctor. And along with that, at the very bottom there, we have the Natural Remedies Encyclopedia, along with information on country living, survival, no grid survival. If you want to live off grid, live off of the land, we have those books here. Again, you guys can go to www.sfp.center. The link is in the description box below. We're doing this to help you guys. We're doing this to help. We want to spread the information out there. You guys can do whatever you guys want to do. You guys can think about these things that I've been talking about. And we've been talking about these things for years. And I know that it can be hard, but if we rely on God, if we rely on Christ, He is going to be the one that makes a way for us to come out of the cities, to live off grid, and to live off of the land, country living. And we can survive without having to buy and sell. We would be our own doctors without having to buy and sell. We can live off of the land without having to buy and sell. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Now, again, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure that the president has some kind of plan behind the scenes. I don't know. But it's looking like, just from the outside looking in, it's looking like things are about to happen. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Guys, just want to thank you guys for, again, sticking with us. We want to thank you guys for the support that you guys have been showing us. If you guys were blessed by this, if you guys found value in this, please like and share. Special thanks to everyone who has been supporting this ministry. Special thanks to David, Daniel, Amanda, Emma, Olivia, Georgie, Ivan, Damien, Eugene, and Misha. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for the donations. For those of you guys who want to support, you guys can do so by praying for this ministry and donating at www.sfp.center/support. The link is in the description box below. Please consider supporting by making a one-time, weekly, monthly, or yearly donation. We truly do appreciate it. It does help us keep this ministry afloat. Or you all can also join the SFP membership program that comes with perks. Click on the join button below to check out the perks. Thank you all again for the support. It is because of you guys that we receive many emails and messages from people who have been impacted by the content and documentaries that we have been publishing. These documentaries are quite expensive to produce, and it is all because of you guys, our supporters, that we are able to do what we do. Remember that here at SFP, the advancement of the gospel and the word of truth are only made possible by the Lord and you, our supporters. So thank you guys for the support. If you guys want to help us reach more people with the gospel and the word of truth, please pray for this ministry, join the SFP membership program down below, and consider donating at www.sfp.center/support. All the links are in the description box below. Thank you guys again. Praise God always. Peace. Avocado grease. We're out of here.
Oh, come, oh,
A lot of people are buying into this ideology that when Jesus Christ comes back, that his feet are going to touch the ground and there's going to be a 1,000-year reign on earth.
When Satan is actually bound to this bottomless pit, it's translated, it's actually the Greek word abusos.
As long as we are abiding in the Lord and we are growing in sanctification, He gives us victory. He transforms us.
Jesus referred to the need to overcome 7 times.
There is nobody on planet Earth for that 1,000-year period.
The Bible is very clear. There's a period of time where there's no one alive on earth. Jeremiah chapter 4.
Until the Son of God appears.
The wicked dead are resurrected one more time so that they could receive their eternal punishment.
They're judged and then they're cast into the lake of fire.
The reason why the fire is eternal is because the fire is God.
God can give us victory over any temptation, over any sin, as we just keep our eyes on Him.
Only the saved can obey. If you're not saved, you cannot obey. Without Jesus in the heart, you cannot obey. And because only the saved can obey, only the obedient will be saved.